Welcome PlayerPlus community. In this video I will show you the import feature. You can use it to import your game schedules. It's important to know in advance that this feature is not available in the app, but only via your PC browser. Plus, it's only possible to import games. Training programs, tournaments and events cannot be imported. So let's get started. Start by clicking on Events in the menu bar. Now click on Create Event and then on Import Game Schedule. That will take you to this page. Here you can upload your file in the XLSX format. I've opened a file here like one that you may have received from your association. It contains a lot of information, not all of which is important for PlayerPlus. And there are probably some items necessary for an import that are missing. Your file must include the following information for the import to work: the opponent's name, whether it's a home or away game with yes or no, the start date, the end date, the start time, the time for the reminder for confirmation/declining in hours, the time for confirmation/declining in hours. If any of these items are missing from your file, you must adjust it so that all this information is included. If you're unsure how to format, for example, the date or time for a successful import, we've created a sample file for you here. You can download it by clicking on the green XLSX on the Import Game Schedule page. This allows you to look at the sample file and compare it against your file. For example, if you now open the sample file in Excel and right-click on the column with the date or time, you can then click on Format Cell and arrive in this window. There you can see that the format for this cell is date. The cells in your file must also have this format to ensure a successful import. If you wish, you can also simply copy your data into the sample file to then see which information is still missing. Once you've adjusted your file to include all of the important information, save it as an XLSX file. Now you can upload it. Do so by clicking the folder icon. Then select the file on your PC by double-clicking or clicking Open and then Upload File. Now you see a list of the games in the uploaded file. You can see the headers from each item above the black lettering. This is because the top row of the XLSX file is displayed. For this reason, the first row of the XLSX file should only include the headers. This prevents one of the games accidentally being used as headline. In the next step, you must assign the information relevant for the game and the columns for the category items. Do so by clicking on the green Please Select button. This will open a window in which you can now click on the desired category item. As mentioned at the start, some items are mandatory for a successful import, which is why you must select these here. If the spelling of some fields in the file that are relevant to the requirements is incorrect, or if the columns contain empty fields, an error message will be displayed that lets you know that the format is invalid or that the fields may not be empty. You must then correct these fields in the file and upload it again. If your file contains addresses that you would like to import so that they are displayed in the relevant games, you must first create these in the address management. If you haven't already done so, do so by clicking on the green text Address Management. There you can see the addresses you've already saved. To add a new address, enter the address in the empty field, click on the suggestion that matches your address and then on Save. This saves the address in the address management and you can now also import it. Don't forget to also include the street number, otherwise the general address cannot be assigned. So if you save Sample Street but want to import 10 Sample Street, the system will be unable to find the address. To import the address, click on the circle adjacent to Import Address. The category item address then becomes available to select after clicking Please Select. The process is similar for nominations. Ensure that the roles you wish to nominate are spelled exactly the same as they were upon creation in PlayerPlus. Check the box for Import Nominations and select the category item nominations. Once you've assigned the required category items and you're ready, click on Import. If by chance you forgot a required item when selecting the category items, an error message will display. You will then have to select the relevant item. Once everything has been entered correctly and in full, Your games will be imported as soon as you click on Import, and they will be visible under the menu option Events. An overview of games imported in the last 30 days is displayed at the bottom of the page. There you can edit individual games by clicking on the pen icon. Clicking on the red X allows you to delete an imported game. You can also edit and delete imported games via the menu option Events, because once imported, they work like manually created games. Now you know everything about the import feature. See you next time and stay sporty.